Hey everybody, it's Jilly Beans here, and I am Single Mominate. Today I'm going to talk about what I learned in the first day of Catherine Sellery's 5-day parenting reboot class. So here we are, out at a nice park in the shade of a tree, or multiple trees rather. And I wanted to go over what I learned on the first day of her class. She offers a couple different things about how to relearn how to parent and how to change your perspective and how to have tools you need to be a more peaceful parent and a more conscious parent. I have been interested in her work for a little while. Catherine Sellery, she's been helping families for over 2 decades. She's just been really focused on it. Lots of rewards, lots of accomplishments in regards to conscious parenting, and yeah, she's very educated and very knowledgeable, and she's also very compassionate and loving and kind. So that's why I'm taking a class with her. So this is the 5-day parenting reboot, and the first day was specifically learn how to stop controlling your kids. So we all do it. It's easy to do. We kind of grew up in a different generation than our kids, and life is different now. Parenting techniques are different. And so conscious parenting to me is a great step in the right direction to allow your child to be them and allow you to be you and live peacefully together no matter who they are or who you are, and really to see your kids for their gifts and strengths and good things and just kind of be with them through the hard things, and not try to push them or control them or make them do things, but rather have them internally want to do them. So, hi Pop, you wanna come say hi? Hi Doggy. So the first thing that we did was we went around and had introductions. There's about 15 people in her group. She has a helper too, I forget her name at the top of my head though. But there are 2 women kind of running the Zoom meeting, and there were about 15 participants. And so we went around and said our names and said where we were from. And there were people from Hong Kong, there were people from England, there were people from the Netherlands, and people from the United States. There might even be more that I'm forgetting, but there was people from all over the place, and they all worked together to find new ways of being with our kids in a more respectful way, starting with ourselves. So we did that, and then we were asked to see if, like, the children that we have, are they more like belongers or autonomous? And we all have both in us. Belongers are the people who are like, will give up their own desires or their own wants to do what other people want them to do to make them happy. So they kind of give up their own selves to be pleasing to somebody else. Versus autonomous, which is like more focused on their own needs and not really being sensitive to other people's needs. So people are a mix of both, but it's nice to recognize where your kids are at, and I think I pretty much have all autonomous kids for the most part. Of course there's always the belonger side of them as well, but yeah, autonomous kids are the ones that are self-directed, don't tell me what to do, don't like to be controlled, very strong-willed. So it seems like that's a lot of what's going on right now, which can be a really positive thing, if known how to handle it in the household. So that was what we talked about at first. The next thing was, let's see, just talking about how to I think it's mostly just to change our perspectives. She talked a little bit about how when one little issue comes up, it can oftentimes escalate into a lot of other issues, which can go into the 3 R's she calls is retaliation, rebellion, and resistance. So if these little issues are dealt with certain ways, like our normal ways of doing it, then those resistance and retaliation and rebellion can come out easily. But if we can change our perspective and change the way we handle those situations, they don't have to escalate into those big things. So we talked about we talked about how she believes that behavior, whether it's wanted or unwanted, is really an attempt to meet their needs. So just to remember that. And The next part is really a lot about of the perspectives in which we have. So the question was, how do we create internal motivation? What we want to do versus creating conditions in which they are aligned and will succeed and be, content with that. We talked about the power of habit. We talked about how we're really just going to shift our whole new language, really, into more positive, more promoting, more empowering words and beliefs. So there's two ways. There's two basic ways of doing parenting. There's the controlling way, and then there's the guidance way. And controlling is like using rewards, treats, stars, earning money to have compliance, or just any kind of rewards, or consequences, and taking away things or yelling. Those are all in the realm of the controlling parenting. And then the guidance parenting is more like a teaching to help them act conscientiously, like to help them choose to act, to behave in favorable ways because they want to. So here are some terms that we need to be aware of when we speak to our children, or even the way we think. This is the external belief that the things on the outside affect us on the inside, and that's the external things are like, I have to get this done, I have to do this, or I'm supposed to do this, or I'm always the one, I'm always the one to do the dishes, or you always have to tell me that, or it's not my fault, hey, they told me to do it, or it's not my fault, like you told me this and it's not my fault, or you told me to do it, you told me, just like putting the blame on someone else, or everyone else is doing it. These are all ways of just not just being honest with what's really going on and kind of diverting in a different way. And people do this all the time. I'm sure I do it a lot. I'm gonna pay attention to it more. My kids do it for sure, so I must do it. More are, the rules say this. That's what the rules are, so that's why I did it. Or because since I'm the mother, I'm the one that has to do this. Or since I'm the mother, or since I'm the oldest, or she's the youngest. So they're all just excuses, really. So those are just some things to watch out for that we all use. That is kind of like a warning that we're not really thinking in a positive direction. And just someone said, the internal belief is that no one can make us and we can't make others. No one can make us and we can't make others. So that's just like really taking ownership of your own responsibility, of your own life, of your own reactions, of your own everything. So taking responsibility. And then we also talked about some lies that we are either told or grow up with or just have internalized throughout the years of different parenting generations and the way we've been raised and our environment and just the way society thinks. So some of the lies that we can believe even in the deep part of ourselves is like that kids are attention seeking, that they're manipulative, that they're seeking attention, that they have to learn, you have to come down hard on them. If they're given an inch, they'll take a mile. And you can't lose to your child. You have to win in battles, and then spare the rod. Save the child. So those are all things that are taught to us that aren't necessarily really how it should be. And then my last part here that I'm going to tell you about. Well, maybe that's not the last part. So next is, she went over a few different sections of topics, and then she went and she clarified the difference between the controlling parent and the guidance parent. So in this first section, it'll be like developmental challenges, right? So if a kid's struggling developmentally, the controlling would be like it's a deliberate mistake. They're not trying. You can't explore the rules. You can't break the rules. You can't bend. They're not behavior mistakes. They're purposeful, and the behaviors must be punished. Those are all in the realm of controlling. But on the developmental side, where the guidance is, it's errors are accidental. Learning is exploring. Practice makes perfect, and you have to make mistakes. And possibly additional support. Maybe there just needs to be some more support. So those are all of the guidance perspectives in the realm of developmental. And the next one is the leadership. So the controlling perspective in leadership part of their lives would be, I have to be in charge. I have power over others. They must do as I say. I am the mother. Like, you must respect your elders. Those are all like in the controlling realm. And then over here on the guidance, it's more like we're in this together. Like we all have our part. You're valuable and needed. You're part of the group. So those are all like the guidance perspectives on leadership for kids. And then as far as this says controlling, but I don't know if that's right. Controlling, so the same thing. So over here, this is behavior. This is in the realm of behavior. So the controlling side would be you have to do as you're told. There's rewards and there's punishments. You have to be compliant and you have to obey. Consequences are a big, thing here. And ultimately it teaches selfishness, because if you do something, then you can get what you want. So it's really just an internal selfish thing going on with the controlling parent. Whereas with the guidance parent, there's explanation, there's thoughtful contemplation as to why or how. Problem solving can come into play, understanding yourself and others, and also giving space are all things that she mentioned in the behavior category. And in the next category, the causes of disruptive behavior. So when you have the controlling parent, you think undesired behaviors are accidentally getting rewards, or maybe you haven't punished enough to get the behaviors out of them, or just reactive behaviors. It says resistance, rebellion, and retaliation, and just really trying to make them do things. Or threats would be another thing. So the causes of disruptive behavior for guidance would be maybe they're just inexperienced, or there's a lack of information, or there's a lapse of self-control, or maybe they don't quite understand. So really, for me, it just seems like it's a very different perspective of so those are all of the topics I'm going to cover that we covered today. But overall, it's just a very more gentle, compassionate, self-reflective way of looking at parenting and looking at your children and looking at their behaviors. So that's what I learned today, is just to not put judgment on my kids' behavior, and rather just take a step back and see what perspective I am putting onto the table, and see how I'm seeing their behaviors, and if I'm coming down hard on them, or it's just not going to go well. So for me, I'm going to learn how to just be more compassionate to my kids. And I guess that's all that I have today for our day one, and it was a really great session. We met a lot of great people, and our kids are all strong-willed, and it's a great thing to have a strong-willed kid, but you got to make sure that you're together with them, and I want to be a happy family with my kids, and so that's why I'm taking this class. Catherine Sellery's 5-Day Parenting Reboot. That's what it's called. And I will touch base tomorrow on day number 2, when we will be covering overcoming pandemic parenting setbacks. So tomorrow we're going to talk about just how the pandemic affected us as mothers and fathers, and as having to be teachers and babysitters, and how the pandemic has affected us and how we can take steps to improve our family life by being a peaceful, happy family. Yay, that's what I want, a peaceful, happy family. Alright guys, well that's it for now, for today. I'm Jilly Beans and I'm Single Momming It, and if you want some more information about how to be involved in this class, check the link below. I should be affiliate by now, and you can get some more information about how to take this class or any other one she's offering. Yeah, if you're going through struggles with parenting, you're not the only one. I tell you that much. You are not the only one, and I am for sure, and I intend on making myself a better mom and a better human, and that will rub off on my family. So I'm going to share what I learned with you, and you share with me what you learned too. So comment below, and you can tell me your biggest difficulties being a parent. And I'd love to hear from you, and I love to have you subscribe and like my channel and my video. And yeah, for now, I guess that's it. We'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you're having a great day. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.